guys, Kevin here to bring you a new video today, where I'm going to be doing the next entry in this film series while driving on my way home. This time I'll use the light just to make an exception for you guys. Supposedly it's like distraction to use the light, but it's okay. It's not that bad. But yeah, I just decided I feel like it's easier just to make this video on the way home because I have work tomorrow at 8, so it's just in the best interest of time for me to record this now, I feel like. But yeah, and plus I have to go home to watch a film tonight, so yeah. But it's all good. Anyways, well, the thing that happened was yesterday I watched part of a movie, but not all of it. I had to finish it this morning. Yeah, so I broke on this whole tradition thing because I physically could not stay awake to watch this movie. And it wasn't because the movie was like bad. It was just I just physically could not stay awake for some reason. I was just so tired. And like I don't really like fall asleep for movies that often, but it happens. But yeah, I got 30 minutes into it and I fell asleep and woke up like 40 minutes into it, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna stay awake for this. So I'm just like, okay, I'll just watch it tomorrow. So technically I did watch a film last night, but just not all of it. I had fallen asleep around like 11, which is like hard to believe. Anyways, let's actually talk about the film. The film that I watched was called The Invitation. The Invitation was an interesting movie to watch. My problem with it is that I didn't really find it to be that much of a horror movie. So because of that, I would say my score for it would be pretty low because of that. I just had issues with the fact that it called itself a horror movie, but it doesn't actually introduce any real horror elements into it until the last 25 minutes. Up until then, it's just, drama between this like group of friends that are coming together, and like, this one guy has this sneaking suspicion that like the family is like up to something bad, like this meaning like he suspects they want to kill them, which does end up being true. In the last 25 minutes. But, I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot to go off of for that, actually. It felt like more like paranoia, like, honestly, because, and it just happened to be true. Because, like, this guy didn't have a whole lot to go off of as far as, like, why he should be suspicious of this family. Because its structure is similar to, I think there's a movie called You're Next that's sounds pretty similar to this, where like a family gets together for like a seemingly like good get together, and then it all turns bad. This is like a similar premise where like these people get all invited to participate in this dinner or this event to come together, and two of the people that are invited are the main characters, are this guy and his new girlfriend, who was being invited to his ex-girlfriend's house to, I guess, try to make amends, per se, because she is his ex, and like she is like really nice to him, so like he found that kind of like suspicious, which is understandable, I guess. Yeah, but I don't know. And then like the movie spends a lot of time just like talking about the drama between them, and like talking about like acceptance, different experiences everybody has had, because there's like so many people, there's like a bunch of different people there. They talk about like different experiences they've had, and like what they've gone through, and like they end up watching like this weird video that's just showing like a person like dying, like a person actually dies, but like even that's not really that like horror-like. It's just a person, like they're dying of cancer, which I mean sucks, of course, but like it's not like anything that's like horror-like. It's just they just die, you know, like they're not like brutally murdered or anything. And they're basically using that video to try to like say that, you know, death is okay and you should want to die, because in the end their end goal is to essentially like kill everyone, or make everyone die together in the end, because they felt like that was the best solution for what they were currently facing. That they all felt like they had to kind of ascend into, you know, death. And it was almost like a cult thing, kind of. I want to say it's kind of weird. It wasn't just like, oh, they're all just suicidal. No, it was almost just like we need to be on this. We need to be with death or something like that. I don't know. They were like doing some weird preachy stuff on that. But yeah, this movie spends a lot of time doing that, and then in the last 25 minutes, finally we have like the climax. You know, the family they all try to get tricked into drinking this wine, which seemed fine. They were just all doing a toast, but interestingly enough, that was actually going to be the way that they were going to all die, is they were all going to drink wine together in a toast, and then they were all just going to die together. But luckily, this guy Will, who was extremely paranoid this whole time and was like Swanage for whatever reason, I guess he had some reason, but not a whole lot of reason, he slaps the wine glasses out of their hands, you know, because he can, I guess. I don't know, because he felt like it was poisoned, which he was right, and he acts out in aggression and almost kills someone for it, and yeah, it just all plays out from there. Like, he has to like face off against a couple of dudes who were like converted into it, you know, and like eventually his girlfriend admits that, you know, she wanted this to be different, because she actually had they actually had a son together, which died, which is also why the guy was suspicious, because you know, that was really traumatic for both of them, and she was kind of just like being really happy, like acting like nothing was like bad in their life, when like this guy was like still disturbed from like, you know, not having the child in his life. And like she finally comes to admit that when she's literally dying from a gunshot wound, and she finally like admits that like, yeah, I really miss him actually, and she was just putting on this like facade, you know, and trying to go with this whole like, oh, let's just all be happy and die and forget about all our problems, or something along those lines. But yeah, and Carroll Lynch is in this film. If you don't know, he was in Channel Zero, No End House. That's something he was in, and yeah, he was interesting in that, to say the least. And he's been in some other good movies. I can't name them at the moment, but that is a movie he was in. But yeah, he was pretty good in this movie. He was more like a side actor, and oddly enough, like he's like the only notable actor to make an appearance in this film. There's not really any other well-known actors or actresses in this movie, so I did find that kind of strange. I guess it's not that strange, because it's a horror movie, and a lot of horror movies never have that well-known of actors or actresses in them, just because. But it is what it is. It was directed by Kazuma, who actually directed the film Jennifer's Body, which is actually a great film in my opinion. Haters gonna hate, but that's a great film. So yeah, I guess I'm happy she directed it, but I'm just disappointed in the fact that it's the horror movie that just forgot to horror, because it's really not scary at all or intense until that last 25 minutes, which does get kind of intense and cool, but I don't know, like, it was an okay film, but like, if you're gonna call yourself a horror movie, like, try to like, you could like be more like scary sooner, like at least try to get scary like before it gets to be like halfway through the film, I would say. and like, you know, I wasn't really like on edge at all at this film, because I'd read the synopsis that said like that like these people grow suspicious of this party. So like, if it wasn't for the fact that I read that, I probably would just go into this film being like bored by it and just being like, okay, what does this all mean? Like, why are you showing me this? Like, I don't know, it just felt like it didn't have a purpose for a while, I guess. I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, you know, it was entertaining somewhat, but just for that like lack of horror element, I would give it I would say a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Yeah, just because of the way it was with that, and yeah, it just seemed like overly emphasized on this whole relationship drama thing that was going on between these people, and it should just be called like a drama, maybe thriller. I don't even know. It did not feel like a horror movie. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this review. But either way, hope you guys have enjoyed this review. I'll see you guys in the next one tomorrow.